Okay, so today it's been raining a little bit. We've got a little break in the weather right now, but I want to talk a little bit about tips and strategies for how to shoot well in the rain, right? So, what do you guys think? What could you do to shoot well in the rain? What have you noticed so far? What's different when you shoot in the rain? Jack, the finger tab, it feels different, right? Did you have something, Jim? What else? The grip is slippery, absolutely. What else?
It gets a little bit harder to see, a bit harder to focus.
A little bit harder to see and harder to focus. Does anyone find the rain distracting? They're thinking about the rain rather than the technique or the shot process, yeah?
For me, because my glasses, they have rainwater on there.
Can I borrow your glasses? Oh man, you're blind. But even, yeah, obviously when you wear glasses, what's gonna happen when it starts raining heavy? You can see even less than when you started. Hey, thank you, Tony. What else? The additional clothing, very good. So you can see I'm wearing a bit of a spray jacket at the moment. Narelle, you're wearing a rain jacket. What did you notice?
Yes, so there was an extra noise and I didn't realize it was the screen hitting the jacket.
Yeah, so you could hear the phoop as the bow was pulling against your jacket when you were shooting it. Because was that the first time you shot in a rain jacket?
Yeah.
Very good. Okay, what else? Anything else? Okay, the most important thing to shoot good in the rain is exactly what you guys are doing right now, which is practice in the rain. Okay? Because what a lot of archers do, they fall into this trap where they look out the window and they go, oh yeah, it's a bit wet today. I'll just do some SPT and I'll train tomorrow. Fair enough, right? No, yes. Because when a tournament's on, do they look out the window and go, oh yeah, it's a bit wet, we'll move it to tomorrow? No, tomorrow's Monday. The tournament's scheduled for Sunday, it's going ahead. And for big tournaments that people have flown in from interstate or from overseas, there's big money, there's expenses, there's hotel, the tournament's going ahead. If it's safe to do it, it's going ahead. And when I say safe to do it, I mean, unless the target butts are being blown over and taking off, and unless there is lightning and hail, the tournament will go ahead. You understand? So I have shot in some horrendous storms where it has been absolutely pelting down for the full time. What kind of things do you think you hear on the shooting line during those events? What would people be saying around you? Oh, it's wet. Oh, my socks are soggy. Oh, it's cold. Oh, I hope the rain stops. Guys, this is like the absolute worst mindset to be in. You know why? You can't control the weather. And unless you plan on doing a rain dance, like it's completely out of your control. So when it comes to the weather, my mantra is, I insist, in fact, that if you want to be coached by me and move up our ranks, that if a competition would be on, training is on, okay? So obviously if it's unsafe, same as a tournament, we'll cancel training. But as long as it's safe to do so, we'll be out in the weather. And that means that you learn the lessons that you're learning right now before it matters. You learn, it's not the first, when you go to a tournament and it's raining, it's not the first time you've shot in a rain jacket and figured out that, you know what, this catches on my jumper and it's gonna cost me points. So what could I do about that, guys? What could I do?
Have a chest guard.
One thing, you could, try a chest guard. This one's a bit small for me, but you get the idea? Okay, okay, let's just pretend it fits. So what else could I do? Let's say it's catching on my sleeve now. What am I gonna do?
The arm guard like outside of the eye. That might work.
Simple, guys. Bulldog clips. Someone come and help me with this. Okay, all you do is you pull the sleeve back. Don't clamp my triceps.
There you go.
There we go. And it just holds the sleeve tighter to your arm. And with the chest guard, often that's enough. Okay? There are different chest guards you can get as well that are neoprene or elastic and they will hold it tight to your arm. You can try that. Someone like me who's hypermobile and has very tight clearance on the arm, thanks Gabby, I struggle to shoot in anything like a rain jacket. Even this one, it still catches a little bit. So you can half wear it.
Wear it on like one side.
Okay? Still wear your chest guard and shoot this way. And at least it keeps you sort of dry. Okay, other things. Waterproof legs. They don't catch on the string no matter what, I hope. So get some of those pullover hiking waterproof pants that you can get from Kathmandu. They roll up into a little bag like this, and they're plastic, and you can pull them over your other shorts and whatever. And if it stops raining like now and it starts to become hot and humid again, just rip them off and you're good to go. So I highly recommend those. Also, waterproof shoes. They're gumboots. Narelle's wearing gumboots. These are sort of Gore-Tex hiking shoes, but you can also get like $20 shoe sleeves that actually stretch over your shoe and turn your normal shooting shoe into a waterproof shoe. If you can't afford them, then guess what else you can do? Sock, plastic bag, sock, shoe. Okay? It's been done before. All right, what else can you do? Finger tab got wet. What can you do about that?
You can get a spare.
Yes, spare finger tab. And as well, same as the jacket, you don't want the first time shooting with a wet finger tab to be in a competition. So you need to know how it feels. Does it shoot different? And shoot your spare, and does the spare work? Does the spare go in the same spot? How does the spare feel when it gets wet? You know, try your best to keep it dry, but it's going to get wet to some degree. What else is there? Yeah, that's right. So afterwards, aftercare, making sure, I can tell you from personal experience that I've packed up my bow case from a wet tournament and then put it in my car, had a day off, come back, opened my bow case to like blue cheese level mold all through my bow, my string, my finger tab, my bow case lining, and everything. So yeah, don't make that mistake. When you get home, just air it out. A little bit of baby powder on the tab when you get home after it's wet helps to kind of absorb the moisture and keep the leather soft. So that's an easy trick. Another thing, who wears glasses shooting? So some people shoot in contacts, okay, if it's wet, and they've done it before because they know they need to. Otherwise, get your bucket hat. In the rain, even, the bucket hat, when you pull it down, it actually covers your glasses and can stop the rain from getting in your eyes. Even when it's raining, I don't wear glasses, but I prefer to wear a bucket hat because it keeps the rain out of my eyes, especially if it's windy as well, right? Okay, so how does, that's just you. That's all the stuff that you can do to control yourself. Well, that's a bit of it. There's other stuff as well. So even we live in Brisbane in Queensland and it's not that cold, but I promise you if you're standing out in the rain for 6 hours in a major competition, the water running over your skin and evaporating all day and just being wet does drain energy and you will get cold. So just basic maintenance, you actually burn way more energy when it's raining just from your body keeping yourself warm. So probably make sure you increase your calories a little bit. I always take extra food when it's raining because I know it's cold, and I know if not, everyone towards the end of the day starts really fading because they haven't been able to keep on top of their focus and their energy levels. Making sure you keep dry where you can, keep your score sheets dry, have an umbrella even if you can't shoot under it. When you're walking to the target and back, you're just keeping as dry as possible. But then what about the shooting itself? How does the rain affect your arrows? How does it affect your grouping? How does it affect your bow?
So normally the arrows would be lower because the string and also like the lens is like
Yes.
it have like rainwater, so it's like it's heavier.
Can I hold your bow? So when your bow is wet, thank you, Tony. When your bow is wet, string will sit in the strands of the string. And so what happens for your first shot? Where does it go? It's heavier, right? It goes low. And you also get water droplets on the limb. You can see a little bit here, but obviously the limb's dried a bit now, but you get water droplets all over the limb itself. So what a lot of people do is they get up, they shoot their first shot, and it goes low. And they go, it's raining. And then they shoot the second one, and where does it go? Why?
They just side, and it's no longer damp.
Yeah, because on the first shot, all the water has been launched out of the string and off the limb. So now what went low 8 before is now going high 8. Okay? So before you shoot when it's wet, pick up your bow, give it a couple of plucks, get the water out of the string and off the limbs, and then your first shot will be good. And if you need to make an adjustment, you can then do it with confidence. Okay? Wind and rain are very similar in some respects because they're always changing. It'll never happen where you get a tournament where it's just constant wind and constant rain for the whole time. The wind will always change direction, and it'll change in strength, and it'll have gusts and things, and the rain has the same effect. It's going to get heavier, then lighter, then stop like now, the sun will come out, then it'll start bucketing down again, then there'll be rain and no wind, and then there'll be wind and no rain, and then there'll be rain and wind, and then the rain will be heavier and the wind will... So it's constantly changing. So you have to be paying attention in the rain and in the weather. It's part of outdoor archery, so learn to love it. So that's why as well I find that a lot of people shoot worse scores during those tricky conditions because they're unable to maintain focus and pay attention to those things. And also they haven't got enough experience to understand how those fluctuating weather conditions actually affect their groupings and how to aim off and things like that. So it just really does come back to actually practicing in all conditions. And if it starts raining, you should be thinking, great, this is my chance to go get practice in the rain. Okay, most important tip, I did touch on it a little bit before, Tony, is definitely the mindset. Okay, when you go to a competition, you will hear all your competitors around you complaining and whinging and moaning about the weather and how they wish it wasn't so cold and, oh, it was nice yesterday, I hope the weather clears up this afternoon and all this sort of stuff. It's completely pointless. It's important that you embrace the weather conditions and that you understand that by being prepared, by having practiced in these conditions, you have an edge over your competitors. Yep. So with that in mind, you guys, by having come to training during wet weather, have earned yourself your little rubber ducky. Okay? So this is your signal, hang it from your quiver. It's your proof that you are qualified to shoot in all conditions because you have trained in all conditions. So guys, give yourselves a little round of applause. Some of you have already got your rubber ducky, who hasn't? Oh, like 3/4 of you guys. Okay, so remember to give your duck a name. I think, Gabby, what's your duck's name?
Mauricio Sherman.
Mauricio Sherman. Halima?
The duck.
Duck?
The duck.
Bo?
Ferdinand.
Ferdinand. Paco?
Numo.
Numo. Who else has got a duck name? Jack? What's it this week? J. Jonah Jameson. Cool. All right, guys, so come down, grab your duck, and then let's get back to shooting, and we're going to do some scoring.